my 4 marches that got me over 500 million kills in my last KVK on my alt account, people please, showing the crystal tech, showing the equipment and everything there is. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legend Ronnie and today I'm gonna explain how I got over 500 million kills in my last KVK using just 4 marchers for field fighting. And the follow-up video after this one, it will be the perfect 7 marches, or what I would consider the perfect 7 marches for Season of Conquest. So if you're new to the channel, you might want to grab the subscribe button so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Going further into the video, you might want to know how old the account is, because once I'm gonna start showing the commanders, you might say well account, etc, etc. So this is an 892 days old account, which kind of brings it to about 2.5 years of gameplay. So there was a lot of time for me to acquire sculptures and a lot of other stuff. The next thing that I need to show you is how far I went into the crystal tech in this KVK. So right now I am doing the quench blade and the attack, basically the third part of the attack, and I got into the juicy ones as well, but I haven't got any improved morale or call to arms 2. When our war ended, my call to arms 1 was around 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, something like that. I didn't had the last bit, the 4%, and because you need to do a bunch of the other stuff to 10 in order to progress, so there was a lot of other stuff that I had to research. So I wasn't not close to max tech, not even close to max tech. I barely had any troops capacity, maybe 10%, 11% troops capacity from this one. So that was pretty much with the crystal tech. Another important notice that I have to mention before we're gonna go into the 4 pairings, the 4 marches, is that this account started as a garrison account. As you're noticing that I have Zenobia and I have Wu, both max skills, and obviously max skill them with universal sculpture. So if I would have gone strictly on field fighting commanders, I would have definitely have a much better arsenal right now sitting in my inventory. But I do not, because that is going on garrison. That was the plan of this account. 2.5 years is a lot of things that change. So if you're following my videos, if you're following the path of being a field fighting commander or a field fighting player, you like field fighting a lot, then this is how far you can get. As for me, this account is a low spender account, so I don't really spend heavily. Maybe recharge rewards is the highest amount that I spend at one time or in a short period of time, which is probably about 60 pounds or something like that, just to complete the recharge rewards. So that's how far I'm going into spendings on this account, because anything that can give me sculptures, I go for it, because you want to have the commanders. Now the first pair that I'm using is obviously Guan and Alexander. You're noticing in the picture they are both maxed. This is the equipment that I have on my Guan Yu. Now the reason I expertise my Guan Yu is because of the coin, but I also recommend that you expert is legendary. Now you're probably wondering, why is that? Well, I have noticed this for a very long time. The small investments on commanders, it works. It's a very nice start, and I can show that I'm using that as well, and I've been using in this war. For example, William 5311, that's exactly how I have been using him. I didn't upgrade it further because the war is over, and I do plan to max skill him as well in the end. So I did use non-max skill legendary from ever on this account. Saladin started as a 5551 as well. It wasn't a max skill Saladin, and the only reason why he's max skill is because of the mightiest governor. I won a rank 1 and a rank 2, so I only needed like 40 more universals to max skill Saladin, so obviously I just went for it. But this is the goal, this is the set goal that you want to go for. You want to have 2 solid marchers for the field. You don't want to just keep doing these small investments. You rather have 2 marchers, all max skills, because that's how I started. I had a 5551 Saladin and an Ethelflaed, and I had a max skill Artemisia and a YSG. Those were my 2 marchers for field fighting that I started with. And then I started doing Alexander, and I max kill Alexander, and before I max kill him, I used him as a 5-5-5-1, and then I started using Guan. Before I max kill Guan, I started using him as a 5-1-1-1 with a max kill Alexander. That's exactly how I was using him. Minimum investment on commanders, it does help, it works, but in the end, it's always recommended that you max kill the commanders, and Saladin should always be the last. Because to be honest, as a 5-5-5-1, he is amazing. Now that is out of the way, Guan and Alex is one of my marchers that I'm using. The second one, because I already showed him a couple of times, is Saladin and William. And I plan to work on better accessories. I want to have Mora's Web on Saladin. I really think that Mora's Web is one of the best in slot for Saladin. And I want to have the Horn as well. Because I have Horn on Guan, I have Horn on Nebuchadnezzar, and I want to have Horn on Saladin. This is the minimum that you want to go as a equipment for cavalry. I'm not talking about the accessories, I'm talking about the 6 pieces, the helm, the chest, the gloves, the weapon, the pants, and the boots. If you want to improve this equipment further, you can get this chest piece from the set, and you can get the gloves from the set. So that way you have the 4 set bonus, the 3% counterattack damage increase. That's what I would go for, and that's what I would recommend. As you notice, on the infantry one, I only have the 2 pieces set bonus, because the pants give you attack, the weapon gives you attack, the chest piece gives you attack. You don't need attack on infantry. They don't benefit so much from attack. Plus the 4 pieces just give you extra march speed, so it's not really something you really need. Saladin and William, the second march that I have been using, and the third march, because I already mentioned about Nebuchadnezzar. Obviously this is his equipment, Nebuchadnezzar with YSG. But if I could trade, like in the next second, and I'm not joking, I would instantly do it. If I could trade Nebuchadnezzar for Artemisia, I would do it. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was using Artemisia with YSG. Couple of months later, they resetted Artemisia. And I already had Artemisia max skill and Nebuchadnezzar max skill. So I said, why would I need both of them right now? I don't, because I didn't even had archers for 2 marchers. So I was pretty happy that they resetted Artemisia. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep Nebuchadnezzar for my YSG. Is a solid archer march, and I will do Artemisia later on once I'm finishing some of the other marches that I wanna work on. So that's why I managed to max kill my Trajan, I managed to max kill my Guan Yu, because they resetted Artemisia. So that was an extra plus for me. But if I could trade anytime, I would trade Nebu for Artemisia. Just to give you a comparison, like between Artemisia and Nebuchadnezzar. So as a damage wise, Nebuchadnezzar is a beast, is a complete beast on the field in Sunset Canyon. But the problem is he's very squishy. So Artemisia is way more defensive, way more tanky. Artemisia can also serve as a garrison commander, even if you don't put the talents. She is so amazing. Like if you get rally, you just instantly put her on the wall. If you have her max skill, you put YSG second and you have a solid garrison. But if you don't have them, I mean, I have Zenobia, so obviously I would put Zenobia. But it's not like anyone is investing in Zenobia. I'm regretting right now that I invested in Zenobia, because as a VIP 16 I'm not really garrisoning a lot, and I need YSS, and I don't plan to work on YSS. So that is that. If I could ever get my sculptures back, even half of them from Zenobia and Wu, I would gladly take that. I would definitely use Artemisia if I could instead of Nebu, and I plan to work on Artemisia again because I really like her, but just not now because it's not the time. I still need to finish William. And Nebu and YSG did the trick, but when they are swarmed, they just go down so fast. If they're not being taken, or if they're not getting any attention, they do some serious damage. So that was the third march, Nebu and YSG. Going on to the fourth march was Trajan with Aethelflaed. Now I know the equipment doesn't look exactly what it should be on Trajan, and I plan to improve it, but materials are not really a luxury that I can afford right now. I do plan to do the Hope Cloak, and I do plan to do the Infantry Helmet as well. I'm not sure, probably in the future I might change the gloves and the boots as well. But for now, those are the 2 pieces that I want to have on my Trajan. He is very slow, is the reason I'm going with the Windswept. And I have noticed that you still get a lot of severely wounded regardless of the equipment you put on him. So it's not like a huge improvement going with the legendary helm and the cloak, but it is a better improvement. It is an improvement. It worked, but I do have to say, and I do have to give you a fair warning, if you plan to use Trajan and Aethelflaed, you need to be well aware that it is a bag of severely wounded. It does fill your hospital whenever it's getting swarmed, or like an Attila just picks on your Trajan, you're not even noticing his health bar going down so fast, and you can easily get 70,000-80,000 severely wounded if it's a strong Attila in Takeda. But again, without Trajan, you cannot do so much damage. You cannot melt the targets. He is an essential key on doing a lot of damage and melting the targets on the field. You cannot do it without Trajan. So for me personally, I prefer to get the bills. I prefer to pay the bills because I know in return my other marchers are doing a seriously large amount of damage and fast skills and whatever is needed to take down my opponents. So these are the 4 marchers that I was using, and I was mentioning that I plan to do Artemisia in the future. I want to have Tomyris in my arsenal, or my 5 marchers, because on this account I don't want to go more than 5 marchers. Even if, let's say, in the future, who knows, I might reach 6 marchers, 7 marchers, or wherever the game is gonna lead us to, 5 marchers is the goal for a low spender account. For a free-to-play, I would settle at 4. For a low spender, I would settle at 5. So as long as you have 5 solid marchers, what you keep doing further is just trying to improve, is there is room to improve these marchers, or probably just save sculptures and just upgrade key commander that probably in the future, let's say, an archer might come that is better than Tomyris, or an archer might come that is better than Artemisia, or a cavalry might come that is better than Saladin, or whichever other reason, just so you can keep replacing commanders on these marchers. That's what I will do, and that is my plan. Once I have my 5 solid marchers on this account, I'm just going to keep saving and saving and saving sculptures until I believe that that commander is going to be a very good replacement for one of those in my 5 marchers. So I hope this is definitely helping you out and giving you an idea like how you should equip your commanders, how you should make your pairings. And if you're wondering the reason why I'm choosing all these marchers, or why I'm doing all these marchers, is because of all the benefits that these commanders can bring. So for example, Saladin is very defensive. Going on to his skills, he's a very, very tanky commander. William, it brings a AoE on the table with his primary skill, then he brings buff to your other marchers with his 4th skill, and he also has instant damage, so obviously that's really good. Then you have Trajan and Aethelflaed, which does the same with his primary skill, is doing buffing to your marchers, and then with his 3rd skill is increasing the damage on the target, so it's also debuffing on the target. Same does Aethelflaed, is debuffing the target. And even debuffs with AoE, which is pretty phenomenal. Debuffing health is very rare. There is only one other commander that does that, and that is Gilgamesh. Then you have Nebuchadnezzar, which also does AoE, same with Artemisia, so you get the AoE value in the murder ball. Then you have YSG, who does the same, it just empowers them. And then you have Guan Yu and Alexander. Guan Yu does AoE, does silence, and has a lot of instant damages and extra damages, so it can definitely pack a lot of damage together. Alexander does the same. He has instant damage, big instant damage, shield, and damage increase to 4 targets, up to 4 targets. So that's pretty good. Now, if you want to put all this together, the whole point of everything, and adding Tomyris in the future, probably adding Ramses or Gilgamesh or Artemisia, I still haven't decided yet, because it's a very, very rough decision that I have to take for the future. But first I need to finish William. All these commanders, what they do, and how does things work, or at least how I have noticed that things works the best. Doing high and large amount of skill damage to a target, you're drastically reducing their numbers. Now, by reducing their numbers, When a target is, let's say, half health or less than half health, maybe 30%, because your murder ball is fresh and that target is so low, even if you're not doing skill or if you're doing the final skill, is having such a huge impact on that target, because that is the moment when you're doing the most severely wounded, because the target is very low, is almost dying, and you have the troop capacity and the firepower by swarming it. And that's how I always notice, that's how you cause the most severely wounded, by doing high amount of skill damage, not by just hitting a target for a couple of moments and then retreating. Is when you're demolishing the target. So having all these buffs and debuffs together on the same target and doing high amount of skill damage, that's how you can bring a target very easy down. And when I'm gonna do the video about the 7 marchers, you will understand even more, because I will obviously add commanders that I'll probably never max on this account, like Guan Yu and Chandragupta, which obviously adds even more debuffs on the table. And that's why I said that Mora's Web is one of the best in slot for Saladin, because it also reduces defense. I also plan to do a dagger in the future, because it also reduces health. So the more debuffs, the more stats you reduce on the target, the more easier it is to bring down. That's why Tomaris has a huge role and a huge importance in a murder ball, especially when you're swarming someone. It helps a ton, a lot more than you can think about it. Now, I hope you find this video very, very helpful. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think, and hopefully next time I'm gonna play on this account, I'm gonna have the perfect 4. William will be max. I'll probably be VIP 17. I hope so. I'm not very far away, and I will definitely perform even better on the field. I'm like 400,000 VIP points. Is getting there. How I'm getting so much VIP is with more than gems. I'm not buying bundles. Every more than gems, I'm spending 50,000 gems on just VIP. You're probably thinking, okay, that sounds pretty nuts. Well, it might sound pretty nuts, but even extra gems, I remember that I spent in the past, because I really wanted VIP 15. I think about 100,000 I spent for VIP 15, and when I was close to 14, because you start getting the 3 sculptures a day, and I think I spent 100,000 gems extra on VIP 14 as well. VIP plays a very important role if you really enjoy field fighting, and that's your direction, that's where you want to go. It's definitely worth it. Just chasing equipment, chasing events is not really gonna get you very, very far. It does help, but VIP is important. Obviously, I'm not gonna reach VIP 18, because there's like 1.5 million points from 17 to 18, but I'm definitely gonna go for it. I'm definitely gonna keep investing in VIP, because slowly, one day, I will reach VIP 18. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find this video very, very helpful. And until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.